What's going on? This is Lefty Locker Room Conversation. Salute to the gods.
Peace.
We got Travis Peterkin here today. As always, we like to talk about, current events, things that's going on. Oh shit. We like to talk about current events, things that's going on within the world and stuff like that.
All right.
Shit. So far, we Karmelo Anthony, man. We got Carmelo Anthony, young ball in the news out of Texas. With the situation of him off in another high school team of a different race, and the world is in shambles about that right now. We also
Wait a
got
minute.
China, beefing with America with all these tariffs and them exposing. We're gonna get
Right,
into
right.
that. The Jadakiss situation, you know what I'm saying, with Jada. We're gonna talk about that. It's just a lot to talk about. First off, Trav, how you feeling?
Blessed and highly favored.
That's what I'm talking about, man. So yeah, have you been following the Carmelo Anthony story?
I might have heard a couple things about it, but I'm not too familiar with what exactly happened. So, if you can, good brother, fill me in.
Well, and but so many words, it's kind of similar to the George Zimmerman situation, but just a little bit different. Basically, it's a young black boy in high school. They was at like a track, like a track meet or something like that within on the field within the school, having a situation.
Okay.
Black boy goes up under um a tent.
Hello.
Is one of them has stopped, but we're gonna keep it going. Black boy goes up under a tent where white boy and his friends was at. I guess they told him to get up out of there. Um, they say it was like a bullying situation going on. Black boy stabs
Racial.
him, ends up killing him.
Word.
Um, so now black boy goes to jail. They thought they was gonna hang him. He gets out on bail, and now the
Mm.
black boy's family is getting death threats. The judge that put him out on bail is getting death threats. He still got to go, you know what I'm saying, on trial later on, a couple months from now, but it's getting crazy. So, I mean, I know you didn't see it,
How
but
old was
how
the
do you feel
kids?
about it? Huh?
How old was the kids?
16, 15, high school kids.
And this happened down south. You said?
This happened in Texas.
Ooh, Texas. Like you're getting a lot of these southern states is becoming like hotbeds for that type of racial violence. You don't hear about that too much on the East Coast. You hear about it somewhat, but you hear about it a lot more down south, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Georgia, places like that, where the laws is open carrying states, and you can't watch everything. It's not cameras everywhere. In New York, it's confined. Everything, the buildings is on top of each other. You're gonna have a lot of those incidents in places like that, especially where it's hot weather. There's not too many jobs. Everything's spread it out. You're gonna see a lot of incidents of just
I
that
mean,
type of activity.
but we talking about Texas though. Texas is the wild wild west. Everybody's carrying. They say keep your hands to yourself for situations like that. Um, the laws, you already know the laws is different. A lot of people was mad that he's out on bail. They feel like he should still be in jail, and they mad at the blacks for standing by the young man, setting the GoFundMe, basically building damn near 150,000 for the dude. You know what I'm saying? They basically built. He
So
basically
so
built him up.
so so they mad at so they mad at black people for once in our life, for once in a lifetime, for sticking together.
They mad that we helped. We set him up a GoFundMe page, raised enough money to get him out of jail on bail, and they mad at that. They also sending death threats to not only the family but the judge that let him out on bail, and the judge is black.
Really. So they it wasn't mad at George Zimmerman for killing a young boy. They wasn't mad at Darren Wilson who shot Mike Brown when his hands was up. They not mad at Tamir Rice who was a 12-year-old boy who got shot in the stomach. They wasn't mad at the lady in Texas who was watching her niece, and the cop, he never came to the front door. He was standing on the side in her backyard. He shot her through a window. She never seen his face when she had lost her life. These people, they ain't mad at those type of people, or even the guy I think that happened in Texas too. He was in his apartment, and the lady, he was watching TV on the couch, and the lady shot him in the face or something like that. They ain't mad at those people. They mad at the one black boy who might have a chance to still keep his freedom after essentially fighting for his life.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because I brought that up last night about what's the difference between George Zimmerman unaliving Trayvon Martin and the young man doing whatever he did to the young white male. What's the difference? The only difference is I I can't really tell you the difference. My thing is it's kind of stupid for everybody keeps saying they want to start a race war. Let's just cut the bullshit. And the
Nah,
media,
but it's been a race for them.
but the way the media promote or speak on these situations, it kind of make it look like that's what it is. Because now we sending death threats to the family, sending death threats to the judge, all because they set him out on bail and because he killed a white boy. But if he would have killed another black boy, would it be that crazy? Would they be getting death threats?
It would be used as propaganda on basically how to be in rap music. They don't want any more black millionaires to happen. If you're a black millionaire, you got to go through a system and steps and protocols with rap music and certain things. Us black people, what we very good at beating the odds. We learning how to skip the line. If you're a convicted felon, career fiend, or whatever you are, and you get a chance to speak words and make a bunch of money doing it, these 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 people love black culture, but don't like black people. So they want to find any reason to keep us down. You might see them wear Tupac shirt, you might see them have braids, you might see them wear Jordans, but when they speak to the busboy who's black, or to the waiter, or to the doorman, these people gonna definitely treat them black. They think our culture and our lifestyles and our ideas is meant to be exploited.
Well, I mean, one thing is we can't be taken serious because of situations like this. We jump in the uproar, and we talked about this before. We jump in the
Okay.
uproar when the police step on our necks, probably kill us on camera and stuff like that. We jump in the uproar when
Okay.
stuff like this goes down. When black boy, unalive white boy. Now everybody want to say, oh,
Okay.
this is something wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? White people want to go crazy, but why can't we have the same energy all around the board? It's not even about a race thing. When it comes to us, I ain't talking about the other people. Have this same
Right.
energy all around the board. If you feel a certain type of way about him unaliving a teen white boy, feel some type of way about these YNs going out there unaliving with switches and just killing a whole block of other young niggas. You know what I'm saying? Have the same energy. Whether you the nigga with the gun in your hand or whether you the person looking at the news, you know what I'm saying, watching what's going on.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you a question, Green. Where does the highest crime rate in the world come from? Because we gotta get technical here.
It comes from urban neighborhoods.
The highest crime rate in the world does not come from Black America. It doesn't come from urban areas. It comes from Spanish speaking countries. If I'm correct, the highest crime rate in the world in 2023 was Honduras, followed by Mexico and El Salvador, some shit like that.
Yeah, but we talking about America. Yeah, they are more dangerous in these countries. Shit, Haiti and all them countries you talking about. It is that very dangerous. That's why niggas flee to come out here. But what I'm saying is right here.
Number one crime rate in 2024 came from El Salvador. It came from South America. Bottom line, it came from a Spanish. It didn't come from a black. It didn't come from a black country. It didn't come from Jamaica or Haiti. It came from a Spanish speaking country. But black people are always targeted.
But what we're saying is they're not going to promote what's going on over there. They barely promote the Dominicans hanging the Haitians. You know what I'm saying, out in Haiti. So it's like that's why you know what I'm saying.
Haitians really promoted.
We talking about what's going on right here in America. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's like we as within us gotta have that same energy. Don't start crying when situations like this get involved. When the whites come in and be like, oh yeah, whatever. But we don't have the same energy toward. You know what I'm saying? When it's us, I shoot you, you
I
shoot me.
mean,
It's not the same energy.
you got a point. You do got a point. As much as we we cry at racism, we don't we don't you know defend our own when it's our own. children, killing our own children. But at the same time, in the black community, we can't preach confusion. If we stand, never, you don't. A lot of times, you don't see black people sticking together. So when you see us sticking together, you can't say, well, have the same energy with a separate incident.
No, we can't.
We can't lose focus.
No,
We
no.
gotta treat we gotta stay on topic with what's going on at hand. This is a current battle we gotta face.
The
And as
thing,
much
the
as you
thing
saying that we should have the same energy for the black on black crime, we gotta tackle that challenge when it comes to our front desk. This situation right here, that's eerily similar to George Zimmerman. It's on Black America's front desk right now. So we gotta address that. We gotta address that bulletin board.
okay, I feel that. At the same time, we shouldn't. We only. So, can you say that we pick and choose what we want to stand on business on? Because when
Yes.
because uh when the Warriors from whatever time we want to speak on, the X's, to anybody, Marcus Garvey's, they wasn't picking and choosing when they wanted to press an issue. This shit was an everyday thing for them, every day.
Right. Right.
So
But
that's what I mean by you can't take these niggas serious because they want to. If it touched them in a certain way, okay, cool. Let's all stand on it. But it could be another similar and same situation over here. It's like we pick and choose when we want to stand on business rather than just standing on business all across the board every day, on time and at all times.
but I think what us good black folk, and it's we gotta like speak the truth. We only respect negativity because we be clapping for Kanye West, and by the time that nigga turned around, Kanye left. We stand for people who will never stand for us. We can't be preaching for cowards. We got a bunch of our rappers and trappers and street pharmacists that was cheering on Donald Trump, and the same people who was cheering him on, he got in office, he flashed that smile, he got an orange skin coating just like a Pokemon, it's like Charizard or one of them, and he made laws. The same people who was cheering him on, he made laws to keep them down.
Mm.
He basically want to give you life if you sneeze wrong. Everything in America is legal. You fly a girl out for some personal time and sex tra every our way of life is being taken from us right before our eyes, and instead of doing something about it, instead of testifying, standing up, and unifying, we no that's just I mean we do gotta worry about what's going on. We gotta worry about black on black crime, but we can't use a confusing tactic to confuse us on when to where and what to do. Because if we think like that, when the issue like the Trayvon Martin come up, you basically telling those people to turn their cheek and worry about what's going on down the street between Boo Boo and Day Day. When it's one and the same, we see Boo Boo and Day Day every day, so we deal with those situations every single day. It's not the first time it's talked about us having to stick together because with the black on black crime situation, but it's important for us to come together when one of our own is definitely under attack, and
This right here,
it goes like
I'm very proud of this specific situation right here because this is Texas we talking about, and he killed a white boy. So it's like
yeah.
they thought they was about to throw him under the jail, but at the same time, you got to think about the Texas laws. Like they may not charge him for unaliving him, they may charge him for the gun. I mean, not the gun, just whatever. I can't really explain it, but the laws
For the crime itself.
right.
You can't charge him for the weapons, so you got to charge him for the murder.
So I'm proud that the family started a GoFundMe. The people really raised them their 250,000 for this dude and got him out. So that's why the whites is really in the uproar on some shit like he should be in there. He should die. Like what I'm saying, it's getting crazy.
Yeah.
Outside of that, that's going to segue into a. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever
Okay.
seen? It's some shit that was. It's a black and white video. Have you ever seen a video
Okay.
of a white man explaining how blacks would buy something being blacks would buy something because it costs a lot of money, but it could be something over here that'll be the same and for a lower price, but they won't touch it because they would rather buy the higher, you know what I'm saying, the higher brand.
Yeah, I
It's a,
posted that on my Facebook page one day. I feel like
it's a it's an old video, right? It's a black and white old video, right?
it's from like the 1950s. The people remastered it to add color, so I guess you see it better. But yeah, it's from the 50s and 60s. I think
Now,
so.
now, hold that thought. Now, we've been talking about this shit now. Now, outside of that, we've
Right.
been talking about the eugenics, you know what I'm saying? The eugenics era when they was, you know what I'm saying? The certain individuals would pay $1 to fucking be a had a Native American paperwork, and you know what I'm saying? All that, right? That was
Okay.
told to us. Now, the shit you talking about is 1950s. Fast forward to today. China. They beefing with America, beefing with Trump. So, why do you they exposing the bag of Birkins, exposing exposing how niggas was paying $50,000 specifically for just the logo, not the bag. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They putting out all the get money schemes that
How much is the bag worth though?
have you been watching?
Somewhat, but you said the logo is 50,000. People been
No, no,
paying
no,
for
no,
the
no, no.
logos
It's
more
not the
than
logo.
for them.
China is saying that all the bags that they're buying that they think is legit. What he's saying is
Right.
they saying that they make those bags in China. The only reason
Okay.
why they saying it's legit is because they'll send the bags to Italy, and Italy would put a tag on it, and with them putting a tag on it, they would claim it as theirs. So let's say the bag is 20,000, right?
Okay.
You not what they're saying is you're not paying for the bag, you're paying for the logo.
Mm.
China makes all that shit, right? But when they send it to Italy and remix it however they remix it, what you paying for is the logo, not the bag. So that's why niggas is paying 100,000, 200,000, 400. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck it is, for whatever the fuck.
So my question is, if people is losing their mind, they paying the house down payments for homes and stuff like that. How much do it cost to make these bags? $10, $20?
Do your homework on that. Like, because China is videos of them telling us where to go, what websites to go to in China to get the same Birkin for fucking $5. and,
Mm.
and it's valued the same as the $20,000 bag. The only reason why they saying it's official is because they sent it to Italy and they put a tag on it, and let's say they may stitch up a little, add some finishing touches to it. Just do your research on it. But what I'm saying is, why they ain't been telling niggas that? Why I feel like do you feel like being that Trump is messing with the wealthiest money? This is the reason why they want to start saying, you know what, fuck it, let's throw everything out on the table.
I mean, you know, I mean, one thing about America, I think one thing I don't know if it's America or black people, but one thing about this country is these people respect violence and negativity, and Trump is negative. He's pushing us towards a war that he would never fight in. I'm dying for my family. I got two kids. Dying for my son and my daughter, for my mother, my father, and my siblings. I'm not dying for no white man I don't know. It's not happening. And he pushing us in a direction where either we're gonna have to go to war or those foreign countries is gonna come on U.S. soil. And I don't want to put that in the air, but it might be a situation just like the Twin
Trap.
Towers. They might attack.
Did we not speak on this? I don't know when, but we spoke on it. I say, yo, US keep playing these games, but we are not ready for the type of attacks that Ukraine and Iraq and all them niggas be getting. When they drop bombs on them motherfuckers, we not ready for that. We barely built for these snowstorms. You know what I'm saying? When they be coming through the city half-ass, you know
Crazy,
what I'm saying, clean shit up.
crazy.
So this is why he playing a dangerous game. And China, they saying like, look, they saying, nigga, we ready for whatever. We don't care. They saying, yo, we really don't need y'all money. Anything, we basically kind of get everything from there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But they telling the
And plus, it's
people,
true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
yeah, they telling the people, yo, you know what? Fuck that. Go to this website. They even saying, yo, come to China, and come for free. I'm to China, come shop at our stores and yo, do your homework on this shit. Look that up. It's getting crazy. Like they telling us
And
instead of going to the Louis Vuitton store, come to this store out in China that's shipping all this shit to Louis Vuitton and get that for $5. They
oh,
inviting Americans out there to do shit like that, giving them 250 China, whatever, however you express they shit, but giving them free train access to get, you know what I'm saying, once they get there, to get to these stores and be able to shop.
plus China is smart. You know why China is smart for? Because
What?
China has been doing a lot of business and has been friendly with a lot of African countries. A lot of African countries in the world's resources, even though China like is like big with like the manufacturing situation, like the China manufactures electronics, the pencils and all that. The world's resources come from Africa:
Yo, listen.
gold, diamonds, the plants that make the vaccines. Everything, just in general. That's another thing we got to touch on. America's greatest superpower is black people. The
Yo,
world's
when you get off this live,
nuclear supply, huh?
when you get off this live, look up them
Yeah.
Chinese niggas telling saying one of the dudes said exactly what you just said. He said, yo, before they exposed what was going on, he said, yo, when everybody was capitalizing, he said, yo, when China was making their money, they was using their money to build up their city. They was using their money to feed their people and do whatever the fuck they got going on out there. He said, but America, we was using our money for book cars, stunt. You know what I'm saying? Just for bullshit, basically. So basically, what you just said is like, yo, they
We
don't
not
really need it.
focused.
They don't really need
We
it.
not focused, and it's only a matter of time for somebody to take the shit over.
And everybody's turned against America just by the way just the behavior, the way niggas is acting, operating. You know what I'm saying? But that's another subject. We gonna go
Okay.
segue to I got two more different things to talk about, but we gonna segue to Jadakiss, right? I see some shit going around. Niggas is going crazy talking about some with Jadakiss. He was on the Joe Button podcast.
Okay.
It was Jada, his pops, and his son, and he was promoting the coffee business that they got going on and stuff like that. But
Mm.
something went viral in that clip where they were saying that with Jada pops was saying that he went to private school,
Word.
he grew up in a two parent household, and
Okay.
the people he went to college, and the people was kind of bashing Kiss for that. Um, how you feel about that? Because how you feel about that before I go?
I didn't know Jadakiss went to college. He kept his like his upbringing, personal life to a minimum. He said he grew up in Yonkers, this and third. I mean I don't feel no way. I mean definitely a legend, and you know certain you got street guys, but we got storytellers in hip hop, and Jadakiss, bar none, is one of our greatest stories. One of our greatest teachers and storytellers.
Facts.
And
Um,
and you know the standards they hold these black people to. If you ain't in the trenches, if you ain't if you're not the most perfect shooter, top shot out gangster, then you can't speak for us. Oh, what did Trump do? Trump is a spoiled, entitled, rich sucker, and you got street dudes calling him daddy. Niggas who've been in the hardest penitentiaries.
this,
So I
this
think with a Jada, he's from the culture. He embodies everything about us. He was raised in a black neighborhood around black people because he grew up to be a strong black man. So you got to give credit where credit's due, and you can't you got certain people you can't mess with. I think people like 50, Jada, and a few others you can't really like come at them like that. Even Ice Cube.
no. We can't speak on 50 because 50 really come from. He's cut from that. He come from standing outside 11, 12 years old, selling Yola, getting hit up 9 times, really playing the block and being in fucked up situations. But we speaking on Jada. The thing is, what went viral was they speak on how Jada talk all the street talk. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever he promoted throughout the years. And they saying that, yo, how can you say all that? And you went to private school, you went to college, you was raised in a two-parent household. My thing is, so what? What's the problem? This is what I was explaining to you why they don't take us serious. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, what's wrong with a motherfucker being raised in a two-parent household? What's wrong with your kid going to a private school? What's wrong with your kid going to college? Ain't that what you want for your kids? But with blacks, what we look down on a motherfucker that goes to college, went to private school, was raised in a two-parent household. Is that a mental illness, or how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's like a new age thing in the black community where we don't
It's,
want black leadership from like black people anymore.
this shit been going on. If your delivery and your speech and your the way you talk was a little bit more proper than mine, what they tell you. Oh, you talk like a white boy. You talk
I
proper.
mean, people say you're talking like a white boy, but the same people who will discredit Jadakiss loves some shady. We gotta ask ourselves in the black community, in the black culture, do we want black leadership from coming from a black person anymore? Because anybody who's black who speaks for us, we find any reason to discredit them. It's
Also,
like a crab in the barrel syndrome when you see one of us speaking. Farrakhan has lived and died for black people, and it's not really too much white people on the white side. It's a bunch of homegrown Negroes who discredit Farrakhan at every turn.
also in between time when Jada Pops exposed him in that manner, Jada said Sheik and Styles went too. They went to private school
Oh
too.
shit!
So it's like, but the whole question is like, what's the problem with that? Like he said in the interview, Jada. After that was said, Jada was like, "So, I mean, we still was raised in the hood. Like you said, we still was raised in the hood. We still was around hood. You know what I'm saying? We still was around all this shit. Just because we went to the private school don't mean we wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, amongst this. You know what I'm saying? What was going on? But at the same time, I'm just like, yo, the mind frame of niggas is like, damn, oh, he was in a two-parent household. He's not valid. That don't take away his bars. That don't take away what he's seen. What you know what I'm saying? What he actually. That don't mean that don't take away. You know what I'm saying? You as a man.
I mean, that's the same as Tupac Shakur. They say Tupac went to acting school and he did ballet and stuff like that. But when it came time, because we always complain about being oppressed by the police, when it came time to act in defense and fire a weapon at the cops, Tupac did it. A lot of these street guys and gangbangers who has been institutionalized definitely hesitated. So you know,
Okay.
it's all about perspective and how you're looking at it.
Facts. So moving on from that, Boosie. Um,
Boosie Boo.
Boosie. Shouts out to Boosie. Boosie got into a recent accident, and I've been seeing him online saying he been going through chest pains, and he explained how he went to a hospital in Atlanta, and he was like, man, Atlanta hospitals ain't shit. He was like, yo, he goes there, he's telling him exactly what's going on with his heart. He feels a certain type of pain, and they keep sending him home and saying they don't see anything.
Mm,
Us men, just anybody, as a human being, you know you and you know your body. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
just in today's timing, um, before I go off again, my question to you is, how do you feel about the medical field these days?
Ooh, because first we got to speak about the pharmaceutical drugs, right? The root word of pharmacy in Greek culture is pharmakia. It means sorcery. So you it's a saying Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, you gotta read his book on how to eat to live.
How to eat to
You
live?
are
Fact.
what you eat. You are what you eat. A lot of the diseases and allergic reactions and the breakdowns of the body, it comes from the food they give you, or the food that's being put out in America. Food dyes, processed foods, what it's doing to us is making us age faster, accelerates the aging process. This, that, and third. So the medical field, kind of like the good cop, bad cop syndrome. I think they tell you I've never been lied. I've never been lied to more in my life than when I go to the hospital and into central bookings. You know.
When the last
So,
time you visited a hospital outside of your son? Like had like actually sat in there, watched how the doctors operate, see who was coming in and out the rooms, get up, walk out the room. Let's say go to the bathroom, see how they operating
right.
within the waiting within the the outside areas at the desk and shit like that. When was
Yeah.
the last time you actually really scoped this shit out before I get into detail?
When I went and visited my mom one time, she has a heart condition that she definitely recovered from. And I seen how the doctors operate and how they put the patients on the side who's not paying a certain type of money.
See,
Everything's big business in America.
that's not my problem. The problem is it's like, yo, we damn near we the same age. I feel like when we was growing up, we had more caring doctors, more older doctors that really studied this shit and
Right.
really knew how to, you know what I'm saying? More caring and more knew what they was doing type shit. You go into the field now, we have a lot of student doctors, a lot of student nurses.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Hell
know what
yeah,
I'm
hell
saying?
yeah, hell yeah.
When a nigga come in the room to come see you about something serious, they sending in a student doctor first, a student nurse. And then if it's that serious, they don't really know what's going on. That's when they send in a real doctor with the student in the room, you know what I'm saying? To perform whatever they need to perform.
So,
That's when
so
you
you
get
basically
crazy
saying,
at.
so you basically saying your life is not a science project.
Niggas' lives is science projects these days going into them hospitals because you have a lot of students working on you. And you don't I
Mm.
mean, I'm not gonna say the care is ass, but the care is kind of ass because it's not the real doctors that's supposed to be seeing you and getting the information from you and like, you know what I'm saying, putting this information down on paper. It's not really
Yeah.
they're full time like they used to be. They're really coaching while still trying to work, but the student is taking over the field right now. So
Mm.
Boosie, I don't know if you've seen it. He was going off. He like, yo, the doctors is ass. Atlanta, just all the doctors in Atlanta is ass. I got to go to Baton Rouge. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, yo, how do you feel about the medical field? Like, you go to the hospitals, it's kind of empty. Niggas ain't going no more for real, unless it's that serious. You know what I'm saying?
So if we can't get help in the hospital, so what do we do as American citizens?
Go back to what you were saying about how to eat to live. Learn how to take care of yourself. You see what I'm doing? I'm growing my own plant, my own fruits, vegetables, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And you're a boxer, so you know kind of, you know what I'm saying, what to put in your body and how to kind of, survive. So my another question is, do you feel like the medical field is more concerned about the money rather than love for the patient anymore?
Of course, of course. Everything is about currency, and our attitude towards pain and death is at an all time low. We've been desensitized. Just our feelings, just our conscience on how to deal with like human pain and stuff like that. You
Man,
know, this is
okay,
not the same no more.
that's a fact. So we're gonna leave it at that. I got one last question for you, and we're gonna go back at the top when we started with Carmelo Anthony because it kind of falls in line with that. My question is, with that situation that happened, outside of that, with everything that's going on in the world, now I'm hearing that they passed the law to where they're gonna let felons be able to carry firearms. How do you feel
Mm.
about that?
I mean, it's a war going on outside. We ain't safe from.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because you can't if you're gonna do that. I feel like New York should be able to carry under certain circumstances.
If you letting felons carry weapons, then New York City, the state of New York in general, should be a open carrying state.
I feel like all states should be open with all states. Why have certain few um able to have and this certain few can't? I feel like everybody should be able to protect themselves. You see what's going
Mm.
on in New York? Niggas getting pushed off the train, on the train, all type of crazy shit. What can you do if you walking down the street with your family? You know what I'm saying? Certain situation happen. How can you protect yourself up outside of these? And another nigga got that thing on.
Funny business. Funny business.
So look, man, that was Lefty's locker room conversations. Travis Peterkin, we sit here talking about everyday life, current events. It's always good to have you on, dog.
Peace and love. Don't play with it. Stay with it. Can't down it, crown it. 24 karat black gold.
Already, Lefty state of mind.
All right, you already.